Did they tell you that something similar happened before? Or
No.
you already found the problem?
I already found a problem.
Okay.
I'm gonna fix it and make sure there's not some other problem.
Okay.
So whenever I find the problem, I've been doing this 15 years. So there have been times where when I was younger, I'd find the problem and I'd walk up to the customer and I'd say, hey, this is your problem. It's gonna be this much to fix it.
Okay.
Do the repair. And then I find another problem and the customer's
Oh.
like, did you break it?
Yeah.
So I like to get it up and running, make sure there's no other surprises. That way when I come to you and tell you how much it's gonna be, you know the whole price and no surprise.
Okay, yeah, don't scare me.
Yes, ma'am. So we're gonna make sure it's running. But
Okay.
the compressor wasn't running because think of it like a battery.
Yeah.
So you have your compressor has two sides, your battery has two sides, one for the compressor, one for the fan. Your fan's running, but the compressor wasn't, so it wasn't making anything cold.
Oh, okay.
And that's because the battery was dead.
Oh.
So let me try this and make sure it runs no problem.
Okay, thank you. Hey y'all, happy Monday. Your girl is in much better spirits. My AC is working. The piece that went out is called a capacitator. And it's actually on the outdoor unit. It's not up in the attic. So it wasn't the same problem as it was last time. Did feel the same, but not the same problem. So the capacitator, if I can explain it to you the way that he explained it to me, is like, he said, think of it as a battery. It has 3 prongs on the top of it. It's like a tube like this. And it has 3 prongs on the top of it. And one of the prongs is to charge the unit. The other one is to make sure the fan is going. The other one is to make sure the AC is blowing. And the one to make sure the AC is blowing is what blew out. So in order to fix it, you can't just do the prongs. You have to buy the entire thing and get that replaced. So that was $400. And then remember, I had to pay $119 just to do the appointment. So that was his service charge, technically. So total, I spent like $519 to get my AC back on, out of pocket. What he did tell me, really nice guy, we chatted for a little while. What he did tell me was that he said, what I may want to do is get me a maintenance plan. He said they had 2 maintenance plans, one for like $35 a month. And he said, you might not even have to use it, but the thing is that when something does happen, I wouldn't have to come out of pocket with so much money at one time. Or I may not have to come out of pocket at all. So I may actually look for a maintenance plan and just do it. It also allows them to come out once a year just to service my AC. The other one is a little bit more expensive, maybe like $60 a month, and they'll come out twice a year and service my AC. So I'm thinking about it. I'm really not big on maintenance plans because I always think about, I'm a squatter, y'all. I can save some money. I can put some money back. So in my mind, I'm putting money, if I get a maintenance plan, I'm giving you money that is never going to be used. I'm not thinking about it as if I'm putting money in a maintenance plan that will eventually be used. That's not how my mind processes. I'm always thinking about the dollar. And I obviously need to do better because I may need a maintenance plan. Because there may be a day, I don't know, that I'm not just going to be able to just say, okay, here's $500, fix it. Or whatever, fix it. May not happen. Because if you guys remember, when we had that thunderstorm a few months back, and I had to get those, what you call it, surge protector put on my house, I came out of pocket $2,000 in that moment. So yeah, I need to think about this a little better because I hate spending money that I ain't got to spend. So let's talk a little bit about why I was so frustrated. And I appreciate the people that reached out to me and said, Joe, Miss Jules, or Joe, or whatever, you can come stay here, bring the kids. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. My frame of mind is much better now. But here's my frustration. I don't know how many of you know that I built my first home when I was 25, 26 years old. And I stayed in my first home for a decade while my daughters was going through junior high and high school. Maybe a little bit of elementary when you think about a decade. So yeah, that was my children's home, right? And I feel like every home has its quirks, you know what I mean? And that home had a plumbing issue. Honey, I fixed the problem, another problem. I fixed the problem, another problem. I fixed the problem, another problem. To the point where I had to just eventually let the home go. Like I just couldn't do it no more. There was one time where I got a water bill that was $600. And even at that age, with my children in my home, I was still a very good saver. So I was able to pay my bill, right? Or, yeah, I think I was able to pay my bill, likely. So, or my parents probably chipped in to help me. Whatever the case may be, it was taken care of. But it happened so much. It was just too much to deal with. It was just like, I'm not. So the last time it happened, I was like, I'm done. That's also one of the reasons why in this home, I'm always walking around my house because I know how dry it's been. If there's a puddle of water, something in the milk ain't clean. That means some type of plumbing is fucked up. If there's a puddle of water around your home, that shouldn't be there because it's so dry on the land. Well, back then, I was so young, I didn't think about stuff like that. So I was living in a rural area when I built my first home. So those of you who's familiar with Austin Metropolitan, I was out there in the Del Valley area, and the plumbing, the water, everything was just extremely hard. So I took all my lessons learned from that and made sure I paid attention to it in this home. Because this home is quite more expensive than that home, right? Because this is 20 some odd years later now. Anyway, speed the story up. So when I built this home, and I guess it's been about 4 years now, my signing was delayed because of the AC unit. There was a problem with the AC unit before I moved into the home. So every year, which they was supposed to have fixed before I signed mine, GEHAN, GEHAN, gets on my nerves. They were supposed to have fixed before I signed on my home. So the first 2 trials of AC issues, it was up under warranty. Well, now I know my warranty is over, which he told me. So things are going to come out of pocket. But what I don't like to see is that once I fix something, something else happens. Once I fix something, I don't like that, because then I get frustrated, and then I get like I was in my last vlog. And I don't like being like that, because y'all know, I don't like being like that, Shoot. But now everything is well. All is well now. Another thing that gets to me, y'all, that I'm just gonna keep it a buck in this moment, because I can't get out without giving a gem, right? I just can't do that. So another thing is that as independent as some of us women think we are, there is always a time where you're in need emotionally, and you kind of wish that you had someone there to support you while you're in that need. So that's kind of how I felt. I'm like, God damn, another thing that I have to deal with, and I got to deal with it alone. When I was dealing with all the stuff when I was in my other home, I dealt with it alone. And I think sometimes I get to the point where I just get frustrated because I really don't want to deal with it. Now I will. Don't get it wrong, because it's not a money thing, it's not a personality thing. I am independent, this, that, and other. It's just a thought that there's so many people out here, women. I'm just gonna talk to my sisters, young girls who sit there and say what they don't need. Well, you probably don't need it because you can definitely take care of yourself. This is true. I'm not taking that away from no one, because I'm one of those individuals. But you do get in the mindset sometimes that you want the support when you go through those needy moments. You just want it. If you don't, you're lying to your fucking self. Reevaluate. So I'm just putting that out there. Y'all can agree to disagree or agree to agree. I don't care. But go ahead and tell me how you feel, girl. And I will chat with you guys soon. And for those of you that care to know, that want to know, oh, let me move this. This is my Cheech and Chong bottoms. If you don't know who Cheech and Chong is, honey, you better do some homework. For us that occasionally like, know exactly who they